Arkansas is one of 3 states without a hate crime law, but 2 local lawmakers have drafted a bill that could change all that. One conservative group already speaking out against it. 5 News reporter Veronica Ortega has more.
A draft of the bill proposed by State Senator Jim Hendren and State Representative Nicole Clowney would boost the prison sentence for offenses committed against a person based on race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, and disability. In a statement, Hendren had this to say: "I am delaying the release of the draft in order to give my colleagues time to review the proposed legislation, provide input, and decide about sponsorship. The legislature does not convene until January, so there is no need to rush members on such an important issue for our state." Governor Asa Hutchinson mentioned earlier this week that he would support such legislation.
We don't want that kind of racial hatred and hate crime carried out in Arkansas without significant consequences.
Family Council, a conservative group based in Little Rock, is against the proposal.
Most states around the country have so-called hate crimes laws on the books. They've been on the books for years and years, and they simply don't prevent hate crimes.
Cox says the bill would do nothing to address the real problems people are concerned about, such as police brutality, no-knock warrants, and racial profiling.
Rather than doing the heavy lifting of actually passing laws that would make a difference, lawmakers tend to gravitate toward these laws that get a lot of attention, but really do, I'd say, nothing to actually fix the problem.
The draft also calls for the Attorney General's office to maintain a database of hate crimes, working with state police to create the system. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Veronica Ortega, 5 News.
We did reach out to the state representative, Nicole Clowney, who co-authored that bill. She said she did not want to comment because it's still too early in the process.